right long before humanity walked upright, long before fire, long before words. Something was left sleeping in the bones of the earth. It was not alien in the sense of ships and stars, nor was it human in any way that could be recognized. It was a construct, a guardian forged when Earth was still young and violent, placed there by an ancient civilization that had vanished before even the oldest galaxies had formed their second generations of stars. The guardian was not meant to wake, not unless the balance was broken. For millennia it slumbered beneath tectonic plates, dreaming in algorithms, watching the rise of mammals, the fall of empires, the blossoming of humanity. It did not stir when humans built pyramids, when they split atoms, or when they first reached space. Only one thing could trigger its awakening: the return of the darkness. The galaxy had forgotten the darkness. Civilizations rose and fell under the Galactic Council's gaze, trading, fighting, and boasting of eternity. But the darkness was older, hungrier, and patient. When it began to seep from the edges of the void, consuming colonies in silence, no one remembered the warnings carved in ancient ruins. No one, except Earth's buried sentinel. It awoke with the screams of dying stars. The first sign was seismic. Earth trembled, oceans roared, and satellites recorded magnetic anomalies that made no sense. Then came the emergence, a structure of impossible geometry rising from beneath the Pacific, splitting the seafloor as if it were paper. Humanity watched in awe and terror as a colossus, neither ship nor machine nor god, rose into the sky. They called it the Guardian. Standing taller than mountains, its form shimmered between metal and something far stranger. Its chest glowed with an ancient core, its head crowned with spires like broken halos. The Guardian did not speak. It moved, and when it moved, the darkness recoiled. Humanity did not yet know what they faced, only that colonies on the fringes were vanishing. Fleets sent to investigate never returned. Refugees spoke of shadows that ate light, of whispers that devoured sanity. The entire world went silent. The Galactic Council dismissed them, as they had dismissed humanity for centuries. Exaggeration, hysteria, nothing we cannot control. They were wrong. The Guardian stretched its limbs for the first time in eons. Railguns and missiles humanity had built were like toys compared to the beams of searing light that erupted from its hands. It launched into orbit, faster than physics allowed, and humanity realized something chilling. It was not just defending Earth, it was preparing for war. The darkness arrived in Seoul within months. It came as a tide of shadow, blotting out stars. A fleet of vessels that were not vessels but hollowed things, corpses of dead civilizations reshaped into weapons. They descended on Neptune first, swallowing its moons in silence. The Guardian met them head-on from Earth's skies. Humanity watched their first true war in the heavens. The Guardian unleashed storms of energy that tore apart the Shadow Fleet. Where its beams struck, the darkness screamed not sound, but something that rattled bones, something that made every human fall to their knees and cover their ears. For days the battle raged across the outer system. Neptune burning with unholy fire, Saturn's rings shattering under shockwaves. But for every shadow destroyed, more came. The Guardian fought like a god of war, but even it was not infinite. Humanity's fleets joined Religan's carriers, orbital cannons all flinging everything they had into the abyss. For the first time in history, humans fought not for dominance, not for territory, but for survival. And the galaxy watched. Species that had mocked humanity now begged for their protection. Worlds that had turned away now prayed for Earth's guardian. But the Council, they hesitated. They feared awakening an enemy older than themselves. They argued while billions died. It was not enough. The darkness broke through Mars's defenses, reaching closer to Earth. Cities trembled as the Guardian returned, scorched and battered, yet unbroken. It stood above the planet like a titan, shielding Earth with its body as shadow fleets rained fire. Humanity saw, in that moment, what the Guardian was. Not alien, not entirely. It had been built for them, a failsafe. A promise from an ancient hand. When the darkness returns, so too will your shield. The Guardian's core flared brighter than the sun. It gathered power that shook space-time itself, and with one final strike, it unleashed a wave across the void. Every shadow vessel caught in its path dissolved, ripped apart into particles that never existed. For an instant, the stars were silent. The darkness recoiled, withdrawing to the farthest reaches. But victory had a cost. The Guardian fell. Its core flickered, its form crumbled, sinking back toward the Pacific. The world's oceans swallowed it again, as if returning it to its tomb. Humanity screamed, desperate to save it, but it was gone. Yet the darkness had not been defeated, only delayed. The Council, finally humbled, declared humanity the galaxy's last defense. Railguns and warships were nothing compared to the Guardian, but they were all that remained. Humanity stood as the front line, armed with knowledge and fury. They had been underestimated before. Never again. And deep beneath the oceans, in silence and shadow, the Guardian's core still pulsed faintly, waiting, watching, because the darkness had not ended. It had only just begun.